What's going on, everybody? Kevin Parkinson here. We're doing it again. Last week we had Greg Moore, videographer extraordinaire, here on live stream, and he gave us a lot of great insight on cameras, on video tact, why certain camera companies are giving more bang for their buck, the difference between dynamic range and resolution, and a plethora of other things. So we'll link that interview in the description. Please make sure to go check that out. But you guys didn't get to see what Greg looks like. So this week, here he is, the man in the flesh, Greg
Hello,
Moore.
world.
Greg, how are you?
Doing good, man. It's a good day. Was cleaning out my car, went by the bank, ran some errands, and now I'm back, ready for this conversation.
Nice, man.
I saw,
So
this morning, I think I saw, what did I see? I saw, man, there's a lot of talk about everything going on, just as far as just hip-hop, rap beef, and I'm like, dude, I got this meeting to go to, and my phone just keeps pinging and pinging and pinging, just new stuff, notification. I'm like, man, I got this interview to do.
well, thank you for being here, man. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Appreciate it. So, Greg, I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat anything or be funny. I'm just gonna jump right into it, man. Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
Here we go.
Drake.
Here we go.
Kendrick
Man,
Lamar,
everybody
Drake.
talking about this, like, you can't escape it.
Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Rap
Wow.
battle of the year. Maybe most interesting rap battle of the last 5 years. This is good for the art of rap. This is good for hip hop. This is fun. We, the consumers, we get a lot of fun out of this because we get to hear two of our favorite artists go back and forth. And for the first time in rap history, these cats are dropping diss tracks in real time. This is some new cutting edge stuff, man. However, stopping for a moment to not be a fanboy and not be selfish, if we put on our tinfoil hat, as some people say, and look at the bigger picture, this could easily be orchestrated.
It could be.
Taylor Swift is doing great numbers,
Yeah.
but rap doesn't seem to be doing the numbers it was doing in 2020, 2021, 22, 23. So now there is all this attention on rap. And possibly it's bad for the artists because there seems to be some real personal stuff that's being addressed, but it's good for the consumers and even better for the people who own the labels.
Right.
The small imprints that we used to see, the subsidiaries of big giant corporations like the Rockefellers,
Right.
the Bad Boy Records, and so forth. Those seem to be going away. And you have the big cats like Universal taking their music off of platforms like TikTok
Yeah.
because they want to control more of the stream revenue that's being generated.
Right.
So, do you think there's a possibility that this thing could be orchestrated?
I think I'm gonna say two things because that's a loaded question. I feel like it's not. On one end, I feel like Kendrick just stopped liking Drake a long time ago. On one end, I feel like that's 100% real smoke, but it's I don't know if it's real hate, but Kendrick's like, nah, I just don't like this guy for whatever reason. For whatever reason that I'm sure they've said it and we missed it, but they got it amongst each other, whatever it was. And secondly, I think that my mentor, we talked about this, and he said hip hop is dying, not dead, but dying. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, anybody can recreate the sound now. So how is it what it was? It's not. It is something, but it isn't that anymore. It isn't. Let's uplift people. Let's get people to dance and vibe. It's more about shoot, kill, and then someone else can then take that kind of concept, roll with it, and make it sound better than the people who kind of originated it and are passing the torch. So it's kind of like the flame of it. I'm gonna give you this, and this just came to mind. I'm gonna give you this, and I love you. You my guy. So hip hop got COVID.
Hip hop got what now?
Hip hop got COVID.
Hip hop's got COVID. Wow.
And so it's incurable. We don't know what to do, right? We don't know how to cure it, but we just want to keep it alive. So it has an incurable disease at this point because what's happened is it's saturated. And because it's saturated, you're getting something where half of the audience that are original hip hop heads don't want to hear the new school because they're not feeling it, they're not liking it. Then the other half, the older, they're doing the thing they're supposed to do, but it's not in a high enough quantity to bring in the revenue levels of what Taylor Swift was doing. Now, like T-Pain said, I think he said it was 6 to 12 billion that was made in the industry, but there was only maybe 600 million that was circulated amongst the artists. So a lot of it went up. So a lot of it went up. So he's like, no, we're making this money, but we're not making this money. And so I think what's happening is to go off and come back, people are mad at Drake because he got a $400 million deal. And everyone in rap, everyone who does music knows if you want to do a good top deal is $1 million. $1 million like before you even give the album or whatever. So that's obviously went up now. So that
now is that like $1 million? Are you talking about the type of deal where you get a $1 million advance and based on how your music performs?
Give you $1 million advance. Yes, that's how it used to be. I think Jordan Lucas said he got a $4 million advance or something like that.
But he has to earn that back through shows and through.
No, there's different types of advances. So you want to get an advance where this is from. I think this was Russell Simmons' book I read, which was about Birdman and get advances and stuff like that, and do stuff that changed the industry, which Birdman really changed the industry, which is why they can make so much. But you would want to get $1 million in advance that you don't have to pay back, recoup nothing, they're just paying you $1 million. And then you split everything else going forward from that deal until that was up, or whatever the splits are. So you want to try to get as much in your advance as possible, so that no matter what you made that, you don't have to pay it back. You don't have, now then your budget for your albums and all that, you're paying that back, you know. And if you end up having to pay back from your advance out of your pocket, or if because you don't recoup, or then but if you make the music, then that pays for itself. But getting 400 million is some type of something. I don't know, but I guess people are mad about that. But all I know is I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Drake made 8 a.m. in Charlotte. J. Cole was on the track with that beat Michael Jackson's hits with an S records, Billboard record, and I'm all for it because I'm in Charlotte and and I think it's really good that they would do that for North Carolina and show love, and we gave them the energy back, and they're doing great. Now, when Kendrick comes in with the Like That record, I personally think, to get into business-wise, I personally think if all of them decided to do something like this to revitalize hip-hop, to get people talking about it, to get people, to get the impressions, to get the TikTok stuff, to get the Instagram stuff, to get everybody's eyes on it, they've done that. They've done that well and calculated. They've gotten to the point where everybody's looking at hip-hop because they're like, this is a worthy battle of artists, of artistry. But the ROI is different now. And that's why I said hip-hop's got COVID. The return on investment is not the same as it used to be. Return on investment with hip-hop used to be CD sales, touring, T-shirts. And then if you get music videos, that was it. There really wasn't nothing else unless you got it in a movie or something like that. But even the movies, back then the movies weren't being streamed after they came out to theaters. They were on DVD or they were on. So it's a completely different thing where now if you get something in a movie, you could be getting paid off of that movie every day. because that movie is being streamed every day around the world. So the return on investment is different. Plus, you got Spotify. You're not looking for CD sales. You're looking for streams. And so,
So, but not to cut you off, but that was a very prolific thing you just said. There was a time where you had home release, and that was the Laserdisc, DVD, VHS market. So you could release a movie in theaters, recoup money, and then you would pretty much have a re-release for home entertainment. And you could recoup a lot of money there also. I remember like in 88 when you and I were like babies and Batman came out. That was a huge home release video. That VHS sold until like 1995. So they darn near made back what they made in the box office with the home box office. But what you're saying is now the home box office is gone. Now, once that product is released, the business model is to always be generating money off of it. Kind of like Grand Theft Auto making over $1 billion, Grand Theft Auto 5, because there were all these microtransactions available with it. So now that we have this streaming era of music, if I hear a song in a movie, I can instantly go stream it. If I hear it on the radio, I can instantly go stream it, or I can buy the album digitally. But there are only so many returns of investment on these new digital products. So the ROI is possibly going down. Whereas Taylor Swift can sell you an experience. You can go to the concert, you can see her at a football game, you can buy the music, you can hear the music in a movie, you can buy merch. But the rap is no longer seeing that many avenues. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
It's going up, not down, because now it can be tracked more. So now if you buy the VHS, they don't know that you played the VHS 100 times this week with your kids. So now you don't buy the VHS, but they know you played it 100 times, so we can put in 2 or 3 ads those 100 times. And now you multiply that by 1 million homes, the ROI is up for the people who own the publishing and own the music, not necessarily for the artists. And then this is why people would be mad at Drake, because they're saying that Drake owns a part of that record label or whatever, and he didn't tell everyone. Essentially, is what's happening. And okay, if he does, so what? Jay-Z was the president of Def Jam. Nobody got mad at him. What are y'all mad at him for? Because he's gotten in position, and he understands you guys. He loves all of y'all. He's not gonna screw you over all this stuff, because he loves hip hop. So it's one of those things where it's like, are you hating on him for being in position, or are you hating on him because you have to answer to him in some level now, or because he has a piece of what you do? But he's right. He's in position because he brought a lot of you guys major hits. He helps a lot of you guys cross over. He helps a lot of you guys, and y'all help him too. Don't get me wrong. But when you look on Kendrick's end, Kendrick is making music for the people, for the culture.
Right.
Kendrick is not in that industry stuff. So he's just, him attacking Drake, it's like Drake's kind of like, I mean, you can see it's a battle of ego. You know, it's kind of like a good versus evil they're trying to make it out to be. But I think that they profit off of it long term. Because what happens long term is 3 things. 1, J. Cole's music gets better. Because J. Cole is about to come with, his music is about to be Jay-Z level for real. Because Jay-Z apologized to Nas. And then Jay-Z just focused on his music. And you see Jay-Z's music, it's some of the most replayed music. I mean, you got New York, you got Run This Town, you got Watch the Throne, you got just certain tracks and albums that just, or the biggest things on earth. It doesn't matter if you lost a rap battle. So J. Cole, we see where you're going, my guy. Kendrick, his music is going to change because now he's going to be more respected. He's going to have a bigger reach because Drake is widening his audience, because now when they see Kendrick, they see Drake. When they see Drake, they see Kendrick. It does bring him up, even though he's already has really powerful music. And then Drake gets even more sales in his concerts because he's becoming even more of a topic. He put Taylor Swift in there. He's getting
Right.
more. That I have seen a lot of non-African American hip hoppers, Indian, Asian, white, male, female, make responses and TikToks and just different content relating to this beef. Like, this beef is good for the industry. Is it planned? Partially, because they are loading up, just dumping a lot of social interactions into hip hop.
You think there's a way that the record companies like Universal can get paid off of not streams but social interactions?
Yes, because you gotta understand the ROI is different. So you take Taylor Swift's story, not her album, her story, and you bring it to now, and then she's got $1 billion tour. You see that?
Wait a minute, Greg. Wait a minute. You're getting high level, and
Okay.
I appreciate this. And Greg, without naming names, you've toured with some of the biggest acts in the country, possibly in the world.
Your image and your brand, which is why you have to always look at how you look and are perceived. Your image, it you're able to recoup off of that.
Okay.
Right? So your image and your likeness are not the same thing. Your
Right.
likeness is something that could be, it's like Tupac's hologram. That's his likeness, right? But the image that he has in the public eye, who Tupac was to people, his image, right? His actual brand is a different value. It is a different evaluation of value versus his likeness, okay? So this is why a song, which is a Drake AI song, what can it really do if Drake didn't say it? Because it's his likeness, but it's not his brand. It's not him. He's not saying it. He didn't say, I'm saying this. And so his story ties into how much he's going to make back, because people are coming into that, like you taught me, that ecosystem, right? Or that lifestyle brand. So Kendrick gets a boost, J. Cole gets a boost, Drake gets a boost. And it doesn't cost them any real money for the marketing because it's such a big topic that it's getting rotation, it's getting all these spins and cycles, news cycles, and Breakfast Club is talking about it every day. Joe Budden Show, Academic Show, there's all these other, No Life Shack, there's all these people, RDC World, there are so many different influencers that this influences. So now, when you have Mr. B say, just a quick short on such and such Kendrick versus Drake, it's that one clip might get viewed 10 million times, a little 10-second clip of a joke. So they're getting the impressions. Now, who's getting the money back for the impressions? A lot of the people are the influencers and everything, and that's why No Life Shack said, "Hey, make sure y'all officially release these songs so we can recoup on them. Because if you don't officially release it, I can't release it on YouTube and review it because it's not a real song and they don't know where to send the money." So now, every time they release these real songs and these people are playing them in their lives and they're playing them in,
like academics,
right? So it's not just that. There are people going to stream them. So when Kendrick releases it, he's got 13 million streams for, I think, 616. And then he had 6 million streams. Both of them had 6 million streams for the push-ups, or the TaylorMade and the Euphoria. And now it's at 13. Kendrick has 13 million listens for every one he released so far. So he's getting those streams. So that's a small part of it. But they're like, we're getting paid for this just off of that. But all the impressions and the people talking about it and all that, what it comes to, not saying they would, but say Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole did an album. Do you know how big that would be if they put their stuff aside and did it? I'm not saying they will, but I'm just saying, if they did that, do you not know? Come on, that's $1 billion tour. If they chose to, because they're creating a narrative.
I'm predicting a Drake and Chris Brown tour this summer, or this fall.
I want the J. Cole. Everybody wants the J. Cole Kendrick. We got the J. Cole Drake, not ever thinking that would happen.
Right.
So that's dope. But how do they move now? With this? Because this partially is real. Kendrick really don't like Drake to an extent.
Right.
I think they're friends, but I don't think they keep it. I think they still like to take shots at each other because it's stuff they don't like. But I think they are cool. I do think they are cool. But I don't think Drake hates Kendrick. I think Kendrick has something against Drake, and Drake.
I heard from a very trusted source that Drake was trying to keep it PG.
Okay. All right.
I heard it from the camp. All right.
Camp. OVO. OVO. I like what they did, man. I think that what's happening is they're revitalizing the talk about hip hop. And then Kendrick is getting people to dance.
That Kendrick song is undeniable.
Yeah.
I was about to.
Yeah, you got to move to it. Man, I saw this video of like 6 guys. They were like younger, teenage, and they looked and they said, and they did this, and then the look on their face was like, right, we don't know if we should be
right. But this is bumping. This is undeniable.
So it's like, you know what I mean? You feel it in your soul, man. But it's one of those things where, on a business level, Future, they go up. Metro, he goes up. Metro, BBL Drizzy. I've been singing that for 2 weeks. I knew that was the next step. Drake, I love you. I knew they was about to use BBL Drizzy because it was too catchy. And I'm like, yo, Drake would be great over this if he could just play on it and make it a joke and make it funny or whatever. Because you still got to work out to keep your abs. If you get your abs done, you got to work out. You still got to work out. You get something done, you got to maintain it, period. So it's funny because, okay, yeah, it's something he didn't make public, but who cares? He still got all of these women that he talked to.
Right.
He still got all of this money. It doesn't change anything. It's just something he didn't tell you. That's to step away from the business and go into the battle part for just a second. That's a lot of stuff that they're saying that's really nebulous, and it really has no value here or there. It doesn't matter. You just revealed it first. And I don't like that they teach kids that, because the kids are learning, oh, I can just say something about you that nobody knows, and now I got one up on you. No, you had one up on me, and you could have been honorable and kept your mouth shut and said something unique about me and thought of something unique to say that doesn't exist, instead of telling somebody, oh, my mom parks the car across the street because, the tires have flat, whatever. You don't have to say that. You could say something else, And if you do take a shot, you be like, oh, Greg's tired. I know Greg's tired. And I get it. But you ain't got to tell everybody that's the situation, simply because the kicker is, how creative can you be? How witty is it, Like comedians. Comedians say all types. They got all types of loaded things that are really pan back. Like Cat Williams did that. You could be a pansexual, and he put some pans up.
Right. His live special yesterday, right? Yeah. That was hilarious.
That's an artistic shot. The more artistic and deeper layer. See, y'all are serving the crowd. Drake and Kendrick, y'all are serving the crowd. And I'm giving some energy to this right now. You're serving the crowd because a lot of the stuff you're saying is addressing damage control. But if you would serve the art, just for one track, serve the art, serve your heart, and say what you mean, say what you feel, that would flow way different than responding just to the other person or just to what you think people are going to say. And I think they've done that here and there, and you hear it for a second, and then they go back to addressing what's being said, which is what a battle is about. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like the music should be speaking a little bit more with the artists of this caliber, where I don't feel it like, Drake, you ain't game. I mean, you came with some vibes, and Kendrick done came with some. The way when he said, "I'm sending up the pot," like I felt that, Metro, shut up and make some drums. Like that was in your spirit. That was in your spirit, right? Because you said one line to Metro, he made 2 albums, but we felt that because that was very catchy what you did. Just like when he said the big 3, big me. There is a one line here that you guys are really searching for. You're giving a lot of content, but y'all could really get into the art thing, and that's really what we want. We want y'all to be as unique as possible. Of course, you got to address what's going on, but the only thing that we as the fans want from y'all is just some beautiful art
Right.
motivated art, because
Yes.
you're gonna give us Rembrandt, you're gonna give us Picasso, you're gonna give us some of this Shakespearean type of ideas through your music. You're gonna give us that as you take your time and you reflect and you go to an island or you go off, you have this experience, you're gonna give us that. But hearing you do it on the fly and hearing you do it because you motivated right now is something about that we love as artists. And when now you have what's called, what I would assume they would call artist engagement. I'm talking about fan engagement.
Okay.
Fan engagement. So when you have this high level fan engagement, we all feel like we're a part of it.
Right.
No matter what you did this week and what I did this week, the way this works psychologically is if you know the gossip and I know the gossip, but I ain't talked to you about nothing else this week, but when I talk to you, we both talk about the same thing, guess what? We both feel relevant.
So let me ask you this, Greg.
News.
You just gave us literally a 21-minute deep dive into the possible or into the reality of the business model outside of the rap battle. Like who is actually benefiting from it, how the streams are helping people, the ideas of these songs not being officially released yet. Like I didn't even think about that. And the money that's on the table. Could you see an evil genius walking into Universal, Warner Brothers, yada, 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 sitting down and saying, I'm going to solve the rap problem. This is what we're going to do. Or do you think this is just a perfect storm and the people who are benefiting from it, but it's all happenstance?
You want the real answer or you want the business answer?
I would love... Are they not the same?
You want a little both? They're different.
I want both.
There's a real answer, and then there's a business answer.
Okay, as long as the real answer is going to get you in trouble.
Nah, it could get me in trouble.
Because, I mean, you see what's going on at Boeing, but I ain't going to say that.
So let me go in with this. So do you see how Kendrick named it Euphoria? Okay, so there's something to that. I'm not going to talk about that, but that affects business. That affects business. Just like when...
okay, that could affect in a negative way.
In a negative or... Right.
That
so
other product.
Right. So you got to understand that some of this is very real. Because they're affecting, trying to see how much can I agitate this person to affect their pockets or their long term.
But wasn't the show canceled? So would it not matter? Or because of replay value, it does matter?
Well, you gotta understand streams or what. If you,
right.
I'm not gonna, because
because I'm not even saying the words because I see what you're saying. But
so
these shows are gonna stream forever.
Right.
But if you damper the next generation from wanting to watch it.
If you search that comes up as the highest impression and not that. It's business. It's business, but there are real layers to it that we're not all. The more that me and you right now, make little things into this and that, the more it's realized publicly. But they know it. So that's the type of stuff where they're trying to hit each other's pockets in different ways. But in the end, everybody is going to make more money because of it. It's kind of like taking a step back to take a step forward. Now, what Pusha T did with the Adonis thing, that was flagrant, like that, because he was rolling out this Adidas thing, and that was a potentially, say he got 3% of whatever he sold in perpetuity for life. Let's say that was $3 billion worth of whatever, So Drake, people gotta understand. You come at Drake all the time with whatever, everybody that don't like Drake. When Drake puts it up, Drake is putting up and losing money every time. Because he can, if you didn't bother him, he's only gonna make more. So he loves hip hop enough to say, okay, I'm gonna still do this the right way, regardless of how it affects me financially. And he's a real man for that, for doing that. And they say Jay-Z is like that. That if you talk to him about something that's hip hop related or business, they say he called Lil Wayne and said, "Do you need anything?" He said, "No, I'm good." Da, 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 da. He said, "No, I mean anything. What do you need right now? You good?" He said, "Well, maybe this or that, but I'm good." He said, "No problem, cool." Love you. Peace. Let me know if you need anything. And he meant like, you need me to, you got one song that you didn't get your masters to that cost 15 million. Let me go buy that for you real quick. Let me go, just like Michael Jackson, like, let me get everything in line for you, like you said he did with what was his name, Little Richard.
Yep.
We just bought him and stuff and gave it to him. Jay-Z was just like, what do you need? Here, let me get you straight in life as a man, right? And then we get back to the hip hop later, you know, like. Lil Wayne saw a picture of Nipsey and called Nipsey's son and was like, yo, you gotta see this picture of your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff like that is real stuff. That's not no money stuff. That's a real man stuff that goes on. And I think when it comes to that, Drake is like on some like, yo, I love hip hop enough to disregard the money for the purpose of things. And I think a lot of people leave that out. There's a lot of rappers that they ain't gonna come at Kendrick at all. They ain't gonna come at Kendrick at all, cause they already know they already know it ain't nothing they can do. They already know their image wise, everything is no benefit to them. So it's no point in coming at him or J. Cole. What's the point? Cause these are the guys who are trying to heal, you know. And if y'all not in that healing stage, you really don't even need to be talking to them, because they're trying to elevate other people. And if you want to go out and pop perks and da-da-da-da-da, cool. If you want to talk about it, cool. But you teaching people about it? Nah, dog. Don't talk to them. Don't mention their names. You know, if you see they doing something positive for community, if you want to do what you want to do on gang, whatever, do it. But don't put that on the masses. And don't try to down people that try to uplift others, because that's big business. So you got the business and the ROI of the music industry, which they're going to get back on tours, streams, merch, impressions, fan interactions, and also performances. You got to understand this will affect the Grammys and stuff like that, because it's the popularity thing. Now the music got to speak, but then you have the industry of the black dollar. This affects the black dollar. This is how people get mad at Drake with certain stuff. We're like, well, we're trying to do blah 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 in the black community, but you're over here with da 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 da, and that's gonna affect us if we try to, you know, it's kind of like a block in the potential of whatever. I think that's what it is. But then you also got the street stuff. See, J. Cole had to take himself out. Drake is associated with Birdman, he's blood. And you got Kendrick with 2 T's or whatever they call them, and Whack and them, their bloods, or Paru. And so they can kind of go at it, and it's not, there's a certain level of, you know, they're both affiliated in some form. They're both tied in. So they can go at it, and then whoever their heads are speaking, you know, you ain't got all the gangs going crazy. You know, with J. Cole and Kendrick, he's not gang affiliated. So he can't get into that with him, because that's not his lane. Because you know what I'm saying? It's just not that he couldn't, but I'm just saying it's just something that's a little bit different when you start getting into that, because they are both affiliated, you know? And people don't think about that on the regular level, but gang members is like, oh yeah, they're both one and the same as far as affiliated with whatever, but there's a level of respect there where everybody's like, we're not gonna, you know, we having this back and forth, but there is a level of respect here that,
you know, that was some high level game. On top of that, the Kendrick song is uniting a lot of street cats in California, because cats are crib walking to the song.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
He's always been about being united.
Right. So it's like, wow, this is fascinating on so many different angles. And of course, I don't think one lover of hip hop wants to see any violence whatsoever spill over from this thing. So prayerfully, this doesn't.
We want to see it be art and let it be art for real.
Right. And that's why it's beautiful right now, because it hasn't gotten to that ugly place yet, which we hope it doesn't. It shouldn't.
I hope it doesn't, yeah.
Greg, we're already at 34 minutes, man. I don't even think we need to get into anything else today. I just want to say thank you so much for doing something that nobody else on YouTube has done so far, and that is follow, track, break down, and reveal the money. You literally were able to expose the money tree of all this, where the money's going, where the money's coming from, whether or not this is beneficial to the bottom line of the hip hop genre of American music, and
no
then
money
globally, because we
no
know
money.
hip hop is the biggest genre of music in the world. So thank you. I think your acumen for business, for music, it was beautifully meshed to talk about this subject, man. I really hope that a lot of people get to see this, because even though it's our culture, is black people in America, and even though it's awesome that it's such a celebrated culture, it is still very, very important that the proprietors of the culture are financially benefiting from it.
They are.
And, again, there's a lot of talk about, well, Drake has a white parent. But at the same time, so does J. Cole. And J. Cole has never been looked at other. So I didn't want this conversation to go into that about Drake. He is a member of the hip hop world and of the culture. What the people are going to do with Drake after this battle is up to the people. And we're going to find out what that is. But as of right now, these are two champion performers in the gladiator ring. And everybody will go to the ring, Greg, and watch the gladiators battle. But how many people are in that Coliseum thinking to themselves, how much money is Caesar getting off of this?
Yeah, they making some money, but all of the money is kind of a delayed. Everything in this reality is a delayed response. If you want to lose weight, you got to do a whole bunch of work now, and then you lose weight later. If you want to eat and get energy, you eat now, and the energy processes, and you get the energy later. This whole everything we do in this reality is a delayed reaction.
Gratification.
It's not even gratification. Just anything that you want to happen, you have to do it now. It's so that it will manifest later. You literally do stuff now that affects the future, and then it comes back. I mean, it's anything. You want to grow your hair out, you decide I'm going to grow my hair, and then over a year it gets longer. Nothing happens instantly. And I think that's one thing that in our generation and the generation beneath us, we're kind of disconnecting from that. And people are getting into instant gratification and don't understand that a lot of this stuff takes time. And the ROI for all this hip hop stuff, in time, they about to make some money. Do you see how much money Jay-Z and Nas made after that battle? I'm talking about for the next 10, 15 years.
Absolutely.
That's what all three of these guys are about to do. All three of them are about to do what Jay-Z and Nas did for the next 10, 15 years. They're about to hit you with hit after hit after hit after hit, and they'll heal and they'll be cool in time. But the music, the fans, this is the thing. Dividing the fans is not necessarily dividing the culture. Like, there are Jay-Z fans and there are Nas fans, but most people are both. They're both. But everybody's gonna get, instead of it being a major separation, everybody's gonna just have a better understanding of. This is the last thing I want to say about this. Like I said, hip hop's got COVID. Like, Kendrick and Drake are going into a lot of what's wrong with the other. What's the problem? What's the problem with you? Okay, well, this is the things that I think are wrong with you, and then Drake comes back and says, well, maybe this is wrong with you or that's wrong with you, and you're not looking at that.
Right.
And we're looking at what's wrong with our top producers, our top artists.
And what do you think? And what is it?
It's a lot, but everybody's human. That's the whole point of it. Everybody's human. Everybody's human. It's because everybody's human, and we don't sometimes allow artists to humanize themselves. We keep them as these deities that we worship. It's like, no, these are people that.
These are people at the end of the day.
Yeah, they got some money and they got some reputation.
I got my light back. My assistant had to come in and help me out real quick. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's perfect. No. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So yeah, They're humans, man, and we think that these people, because they're teams. People forget they're teams too.
What do you
And
mean?
got a fan going? I
Yeah,
can hear you, the fan.
I had to turn this light on real quick. I accidentally turned the fan on.
I can hear the fan. The
Okay,
fan
there we
is
go. This is live, everybody. This is
Oh my
live.
God!
All
Come
right,
on,
all
man.
right. Go
We
ahead,
got a
go
good
ahead.
one. We got to
Thank
cut
you for the
all this
light.
out.
Appreciate
We got to cut all this last part out.
it. Go ahead, Greg.
We're gonna have to cut 5 minutes out, baby. Nah, but no, seriously, man. They're people, and then this is art, and they playing for keeps. Drake says it a lot. He said, "This ain't no joke. We play for keeps. It ain't no chess. We're not playing chess. This is real life.
This is
You
real
know,
life.
it's a
You,
chess strategy
you
to
know, it's
how what
funny
I
you
can
say
get
that
in real
because
life."
that is one of my favorite lines from Drake. Drake said, I think we playing, I think we playing chess. This is real life. I think we playing chess. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it right there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very real bar. And even though culturally, I know Drake is on the losing end because it is a very fair argument that Kendrick is making that Drake has colonized the culture. Drake has also contributed a lot to hip hop. So this is going to be a very interesting telling of where we are as a culture and what these things mean. I mean, the idea that we now are able to give foundational Black Americans their own delineation to say, hey, my ancestors were in North America before antebellum slavery, or during antebellum slavery, my ancestors were brought here. Like, to be able to officially have that category, that's huge, man, because that's never been here before. And like for myself, I'm not a foundational Black American. I'm a Caribbean, descendant of Caribbeans. Here to the United States by way of my parents, and I was born here. So that's a blessing. I totally respect and understand foundational Black Americans saying, hey, we are no longer going to accept outsiders coming in, taking the culture, and not respecting it. I get it. At the same time, it's been a fun 10 years with all this Drake music.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like, man, this is so interesting to see where it goes. Again, I can't say thank you enough. My webcam officially just died, so now I'm back on the laptop
Okay.
webcam. But I honestly, Greg, I gotta say, thank you, man. You chopped the game so heavy. And I really, really sincerely hope a lot of people get a chance to watch this because, again, it's entertaining, but when we get that next level understanding of the business models and how they're affected that you broke down so eloquently, that was masterful. So we got to do this again, man. I'm looking forward to having you back next week.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, Greg. Thank you, man. You killed it, man.
Peace to the kings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next week, man, I know we're gonna have a lot of interesting things to talk about. I really like that we're keeping this thing going. This is great mental gymnastics, a way to stay sharp during the summer, and we're gonna keep it going, man. We're gonna see where this goes.
Peace.
All right, everybody. That was Gregory Moore breaking down the Kendrick and Drake rap battle. I don't even want to call it beef. I use the word beef because I think that was marketed to be detrimental to the culture. So we're not even going to call it beef right now. We're just going to say battle. All right, guys. Again, my name is Kevin Parkinson, Vinark MP on YouTube, Instagram. Please say the MP. You guys have a great day. Take care.